presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Tough one for the Halos last night as they dropped the opening game of the series against the Minnesota Twins. It was the first victory of the year for the Twins. The Angels and the Twins will battle this afternoon in Game 2 of a 3-game series. Hi, everybody from inside Target Field. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and Jared Weaver's on the mound for the Angels today and making his second start of the season. I tell you what, Gubi, you go back to that first start against the Texas Rangers, and you can talk all the velocity you want. Command was the one thing that stood out for me.
Yeah, Victor, we talked about it a lot last year. It doesn't matter how hard he's thrown. If he's hitting those spots in the strike zone with his fastball, sets up his great secondary pitches, and he certainly had that work in his first start of the season against the Texas Ranger. His poise was very good. His arm angle, we talked about that three-quarter arm angle he has, but he's been able to throw the fastball in, but his curveball, changeup, slider, wherever he wanted to throw that. And the big thing, too, he had a good feel for that two-seam fastball, changeup, even in the lefties and righties, which has become a very important pitch in baseball. The changeup to a right-handed batter, and he threw some very effective ones to get some swing and misses, just like that one out in front, looking for something different. Changeup was great. Great career numbers against this Minnesota club, including a no-hitter back in 2012, 5-0 in his last 8 starts versus the Twins, 9-2 overall, winning percentage over 800 against the Minnesota Twins.
While the Weaver is looking for his second win, the Angels offense looking for a little bit more power. They got some last night in Cole Calhoun and Albert Pujols, and we'll talk about that when we return. Welcome back out to Target Field. Game 2 of this 3-game set. And Gary DeSartine and Cole Calhoun doing their pregame ritual, as they like to do. And it worked out well for Cole yesterday. The Angels overall had their first multi-homer game. Especially when
that's so fun when those guys do that. They get ready for the game. But last night, though, Albert Pujols, you have no idea how difficult it is to hit a ball that far on a changeup off the plate. Perfect swing. Balance was great going the other way out for Albert Pujols. His first home run of the season, but a perfect swing on that. And speaking of perfect swings, a 2-run home run by Cole Calhoun, his first home run of the season. Another off-speed pitch by Tommy Malone that was upstairs, and it went a long way. So both swings, off-speed pitches, you have to have the perfect swing and timing to be able to drive a ball like that.
Well, we're just about ready for baseball here in Minnesota. The Angels trying to even up the series at a game apiece. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Bacon-licious sourdough bacon ranch combo. Only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. Partly cloudy skies here in Minneapolis. Temperatures in the low 70s. It's been a really fine weekend, and it's supposed to be fine today as well as tomorrow. And kind of odd for April. The Angels will certainly take it, because when they were looking ahead to the schedule from spring training to this first trip with Oakland, Minneapolis, and Chicago, parka weather, gloves, hats, and everything. But so far, so good. Although it'll be a little chilly in Chicago, but weather overall been pretty good.
Yeah, no complaints at all. When you think about Minnesota's opening game, it was like 36 degrees here for their home opener. So yeah, much nicer, better for hitting. Baseball will be carrying very well here today at Target Field.
And with the clouds, a little better view for hitters. Good batter's eye here in straightaway center field at Target Field. As we take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting lineup, or we will take a look at manager Mike Scioscia's starting lineup in a little bit. Here it is right now.
Just before your eyes.
Just making sure, keeping you guys honest there at home. But a similar lineup to what we've seen, a change with Daniel Nava going on the disabled list today with patella tendonitis. Rafael Ortega was called up from AAA. He will bat behind Nelasco. Mike Trout in center field. Albert Pujols DH. Cole Calhoun in the 5 spot. He's in right. C.J. Cron's struggles continue. He's at first base. Andrelton Simmons extended his hitting streak to 8 games Last night, he is the shortstop. Giovanni Soto getting the start behind the plate. Cliff Pennington gets the start at second base, and he will bat ninth as they take on the 33-year-old right-hander, veteran from Corona, California. His name is Ricky Nelasco.
Nelasco's fastballs around 88 to 93 range. He'll throw a slider, curveball, and split finger fastball. No decision his first start. My go-tos to be successful against him is elevate those pitches. When you brings that fastball up, he will give up the long ball, and patience is a must. Do not chase that breakable or split finger fastball out of the strike zone. Force him in to fastball counts and elevate that fastball.
We'll check out the defense for the Minnesota Twins. Similar in the outfield with Arcia, Rosario, and Ceno from left to right. The infield has Plouffe, Nunez playing short today. Dozier had the night off last night. He's back in second base, an all-star last year. Maurer first. John Ryan Murphy gets to start behind the plate.
And Trevor Plouffe hasn't improved defensively over the last 4 seasons. Like through 2012, fielding percentage 935, but up to last season, 972 for Trevor Plouffe. He does have a good throwing arm, much better range, more comfortable in that third base position.
Halos last night on the offensive side and a total of 9 hits. And of course, falling to the Minnesota Twins by the final of 5-4. The Twins had a total of 8 hits. It was their first win. The Angels now at 5-5. This being game number 11. They're 3-1 now on this road trip. As, they've had some success against Ricky Nelasco. This will be his 3rd start in his career against the Angels. Total of 11 innings, 19 hits, 11 strikeouts. He's 0-1 with a 6.55 ERA, and a couple of guys in the lineup today that have terrific numbers against him. Yunel Escobar being one of them.
And when he gets on a roll, he's very difficult to hit, but the bottom line is you have to force him to be in fastball counts. He does have a pretty good fastball, but that split finger and curveball are very difficult to square up along with his slider.
He had a very good first start of the season. No record. Went 7 innings. Gave up 3 hits, struck out 5. First one today is way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Escobar, as we mentioned, 11 for 31 in his career against Ricky Nelasco with a home run and 3 RBIs. He's hitting .317 with a home run. 3 runs batted in on the season. He had 2 more doubles yesterday. He's got 6 now on the year. And that is ripped to left center field. It's a leadoff single.
It truly is amazing when somebody has success against you. No matter where you throw the baseball, it is going to be hit hard. That's not a bad pitch. It's a fastball away and still serves it in left center field for a base hit. It's that confidence and comfort for a hitter when he's successful against a pitcher.
There's Rafael Ortega, called up before the game. 3rd major league game. He played in 2 games with the Rockies back in 2012. And good numbers down at AAA through 6 games this year, hitting .348 after having a very strong showing in spring training. Did not make the opening day roster, but here he is now in week number 2 as he takes up and away.
Boy, to a man in the coaching staff, they love what he did in spring training. They kind of wanted him to be part of the roster, but they also wanted him to get at bats, and that was why he was down to start the season here at AAA. But you mentioned great numbers, .348.
Originally signed by the Rockies out of Venezuela back in 2008. We'll check in on Escobar at first base. Rafael last year spent all season at AAA Memphis in the Cardinals organization. Hit .286 with 2 home runs, 42 runs batted in, had 22 doubles, 6 triples, and he stole 17 bases. Chopper right side. That's Dozier. He'll feed Nunez for 1. The relay, there is none. So they get the lead runner for out number 1. Ortega takes over on a fielder's choice at first base.
Dozier, a solid defender at second. A quick throw over to Nunez. At that point, not deciding to throw the ball. As you know, that slide, you have to be at the base, and it's exactly what Escobar did on that slide.
1 on, 1 out. Here's Mike Trout. Trout looks at a strike. Mike went hitless last night, going 0 for 3. Drew a walk.
Nelasco first start out, no walks in 7 innings. Pretty good 3-to-1 ratio overall in his career as far as walks to strikeouts. So he's around the strike zone.
Good lead for Ortega at first as Trout takes inside, even the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Nelasco missed the bulk of the season last year. Pitched in 9 games, made just 8 starts. 2 stints on the disabled list with an elbow issue, and then the last was the ankle issue that caused him miss a good chunk of the rest of the season. As Trout reaches for this one and lifts one out to shallow right center field. Rosario, the center fielder, will make the catch. 2 down.
Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. Going a little avenge sevenfold, little hail to the king, Albert Pujols. That swing last night, but what he has done in his career versus Nelasco. .520 batting average with 3 home runs, 11 RBI. Albert Pujols is starting to get hot. 8 RBI, which leads the club right now at this point of the year.
First one down and away. Home run that Albert hit, his first of the year, 561st of his career. 2 shy of tying Reggie Jackson, the all-time list. On an off-speed pitch, up and out of the strike zone. Going the opposite way for that home run last night. Breaking ball for a strike.
Now it's not easy to hit a ball that far the other way on a changeup that's about a baseball and a half off the outside corner and elevated.
Fouls this one off to the right.
Nelasco missed location. Or if he wanted that fastball inside, that drifted out over the plate. Got away with that one. A low fastball, middle of the plate.
Nelasco in his 3rd season now with Minnesota. Originally drafted by the Cubs, got traded to the Marlins, and that's where he made his big league debut. Pitched briefly with the Dodgers before signing with Minnesota. No score here in the first.
Ortega could run a little bit, especially on a 1-2 count, anticipating potentially a break ball in the dirt. Nelasco with 6 career pickoffs. Allowed 85 stolen bases, 126 attempts in his career. That's 33% as far as base stealers being successful against them.
Off to a big lead at first. Ortega doesn't go. That's an off-speed pitch upstairs. Almost looked like it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, curveball.
You mentioned the numbers. I mean, it's video game numbers for Albert Pujols against Ricky Nelasco.
13 for 25.
Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. This one pulled down the line, foul. Escobar with a single, Ortega with a fielder's choice, forcing out Escobar at second and Trout with a fly ball to center field as the sun pops out from behind the clouds, illuminating this beautiful ballpark. Breaking pitch, and he popped him up. Got him to reach for it. Ceno, the right fielder, comes in. He'll make the catch, and the Angels are done here in the first. Right at the bottom of the inning, Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels with no score.
The Twins lineup is presented by their Hall of Fame manager, Paul Molitor. Twins at 1-9. We'll have Eduardo Nunez leading things off at shortstop. Brian Dozier, the All-Star last year at second base. Joe Mauer at first. Miguel Ceno, the cleanup hitter in right field. Trevor Plouffe at third base. Oswaldo Arcia, the left fielder. Byung-Ho Park with the big double. They brought home the winning run last night. He's the DH. Eddie Rosario in center, and John Ryan Murphy batting ninth and doing the catching as they take on Jared Weaver, making his second start of the season. 6 innings, picked up the win against Texas. 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and solid command, Gooby.
Yeah, very good effort his last time out there, and 1 punch out away from 1,500 in his career. But my go-tos for Weave to be successful today: fastball efficiency. That means use all 4 quadrants of the strike zone and curve change combination. Very important for Weaver.
Eduardo Nunez, 7 for 9 to start the year with a double and 2 runs batted in. He had a busy night last night. 3 hits, hit by a pitch, and ran into Ceno as he rips this one out to right field, and that's going to get over the head of Cole Calhoun. Ricochets back over the wall. Nunez is going to keep on running. Here comes a throw from Cole, and it is offline. It's a triple for Nunez.
Talk about how the baseball is going to be carrying here during the day, and that carry him off the wall away from Cole Calhoun. Driven well the other way. And Nunez right out of the batter's box. As soon as he saw that ball bounce off the wall, he's thinking triple. But a good little relay throw. They might have a shot at it, but a little bit away from Simmons allows him to get to third base to lead off the game for the Twins. First triple of the season for Nunez.
There's Brian Dozier infield back, and the first one to Dozier is in for a strike. What we've learned in this ballpark is with the limestone out in right field, the ball hits the limestone, it drops straight down. If it hits the green wall, it's like a super ball. It just bounces right back toward the infield. Dozier takes low on the off speed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dozier off to a slow start. 5 for 33 this year. That's a 152 average. Has a double, a home run, and 1 RBI. Jammed him and fouls it back. 1-2.
So Nunez off to a pretty good start, don't you think? 8 for 10?
Yeah. Not bad for a part-time player. Racing for this one.
Especially all he went through yesterday's game, from running into snow, getting hit by a pitch, diving back and hurting his hand going back to base. Showed all those different things that happened in the pregame show today to him. He stayed in there and right away sparking the offense in this game.
Dozier hits one back up the middle. Pennington is there. It'll bring home a run, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. Dozier picks up his second RBI.
Went upstairs with that fastball that potentially either get a pop up in the infield or a swing and miss. Instead, a ground ball in the middle part of the field. Productive out for Dozier as the Twins score the first run of the game.
So base is clear for Joe Mauer.
We were trying to signal C.J. Cron that he could play back. He has that side of the infield on some slow roller that way.
Mauer hitting .371 so far. 1 for 4 game yesterday. An RBI single. He lines this one past Pennington into right center. A base hit. Slow breaking ball. Take a look at the defense for the Angels. Rafael Ortega in left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield with Nelasco, Andrelton Simmons, Cliff Pennington and C.J. Cron from third to first. Giovanni Soto behind the plate.
Ortega getting that start out in left field. When you look at numbers as far as minor league games in left field, 37 of them, 576 in center field, 59 to right. That tells you he has the speed of a center fielder. So there's, again, a lot of coverage in the outfield today for the Angels.
Ceno takes a strike.
Weave was a little bit upset with himself with that location, that pitch to Joe Mauer to end up getting a base hit ahead of the count. A little bit too much of the strike zone, he felt, and Mauer made him pay for it.
Foul at the plate. Ceno hitting 156 with a double and 2 runs batted in. Just missed. 1-0 Minnesota here in the first. A triple by Nunez. RBI ground out by Dozier. Breaking pitch hammered out to left center field. Trout was shading him that way. He'll make the catch as Mauer heads back to first. 2 down.
One thing to keep an eye on as this game progresses. This first inning has been a kind of a battle for Weave. See his reaction on mislocation. We talked about fastball efficiency as one of his keys today. All his pitches so far. This hasn't been comfortable yet. It'll progress as the game goes along. He's trying to survive this first inning with not too much damage done.
Two outs, Mauer at first, and here's Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman. 2 for 4 game last night. Led off the 9th. Pardon me, the 8th with a base hit. Eventually scored that run that proved to be the game winner. 200 average, 2 doubles, home run, and 3 runs batted in.
Curveball way out in front of him was all set up by the fastball. The pitch before from Weaver. Again, head of the count. Trying to expand the strike zone.
And he punches this one out to right field. Mauer will turn and head to third. Cole backhands it and gets it back into the infield.
Coming into the game, not one hitter on this Twins team had a batting average over 300 against Weaver in the starting lineup today. The 3 hits in this inning. Again, an 0-2 pitch, mislocation on that fastball from Weaver. See the frustration. So you can do that when it's an elevated fastball as a hitter. It's a fastball down and away, though. Very difficult to punch that hard into the outfield. More likely to be on the ground to second base. Big point of the game right here for Weaver.
Oswaldo Arcia, the left fielder, takes a strike. 0 for 8 to start the year. He's getting some playing time first 2 games of this series with Byron Buxton out of the lineup. Their everyday center fielder. Buxton hit by a pitch in Thursday's game against the White Sox. Those look like Arcia was trying to lean into that. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it did miss the inside corner by a whole lot. 20th pitch of the inning for Weaver. 16 of them have been strikes. It's been ahead of the count. This hasn't expanded when he has done so far in the game.
Two on pitch. Marcia takes upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. 3 hits allowed this inning. Nunez got it started with a triple over the head of Cole Calhoun. Trying to keep it a 1-0 game here in the first.
We'll drop one of those change-ups on him right now.
He does, and he rips it out to center. 2-0 Minnesota as Mauer scores. Arcia picks up his first hit of the season.
Right on the outer part of the plate, and he stayed back on it well. Arcia ends up getting a base hit. First of the season, first RBI of the season for him also. How well he stayed back on that baseball. Slow 66-mile-an-hour curveball.
Young Ho Park, the DH. His first season with Minnesota.
One thing we know about Weaver, he battles well. You know at some point you're going to score some runs. You had a lot of success as a team and a number of hitters for the Angels against Nelasco. So always Weave has to think in terms of survive this inning, no more damage, should be in good shape.
Park skies one, towering shot, little hook foul. Just now landed in the seats. That was a rainmaker. Park with a lot of power, the 53 home runs he had last year in Korea. Two balls, 1 strike. Twins winning the rights to negotiate with Park and eventually settling on a 4-year deal. Two 2-0 Minnesota with 2 outs here in the first. He pulls this one foul.
That changeup, right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter. We're seeing that a lot in baseball, and a lot of success with that pitch, especially when you throw that on the inner half of the plate. It's very difficult for a right-handed batter to keep that fair. If you make contact, you're going to pull a foul.
Plouffe at second, Arcia at first. Full count. Reynolds will get a head start here. Park, the 7th man to bat here in the first. Runners go, 3-2, and that missed. Missed low. So they're loaded up for Eddie Rosario. Charles Nagy is coming out to pay a visit.
Weave has known Charles Nagy for a long time. Talked to him in spring training about his influence as a pitching coach. He said amazing as far as being such a positive person towards him and is trying to get him through this one. A lot of times as a pitching coach, you can talk mechanics, but it's those little things you may say that trigger the confidence again to hit your spot, get through the inning.
Rosario, the center fielder, has the bases loaded with 2 outs. First one outside. And where command was so good for Jared in his first start against Texas, been off a little bit so far through the first 7+ batters here in the first inning.
And even though we're only in the first inning, this is a big moment for the Angels and Weaver to keep it at a 2-0 deficit.
This one's out to center. Trout's there. Twins will leave them loaded, but they strike for 2. We head to the second with the Angels trailing at 2-0.
Boy, Colas has been squaring up some baseball so far this season. Need him to get rolling right here. .412 batting average for Cole Calhoun, 8-game hit streak.
2-0. Twins on top. Calhoun, Cronin, Simmons here in the second inning. Cole will take a strike. Extended his hitting streak to 8 games yesterday with a 2-for-3 game. Single, 2-run home run and a walk. .412 average, 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 RBIs so far. Breaky pitch down the line, foul. In the hole, 0-2. One hitless game for Cole Calhoun. That's it this year. Breaking pitch popped up. Shallow left field. Plouffe going out, calling for it, and he'll make the running catch in foul territory for the first out. A long way to go.
I was going to say he went a long way. Difficult play for a third baseman to go straight back like that and keep going and going and going, waiting for somebody to potentially call him off. Put that hand up there to make sure there's no one in the vicinity. It's good communication. It's played by Plouffe.
C.J. Cron, the batter. He rips the first one out the left field. It's a base hit. Jumping on that first pitch fastball. Off to a slow start, just 3 for 32 coming into this one.
Yeah, until you get locked in as a hitter, there's no reason why you shouldn't jump on a first pitch fastball. He's missed a couple of those the last few games in which he started fastballs that he had a good opportunity to make some good contact with. This fastball right down the heart of the plate and then a line drive into left center field.
Simmons, a shortstop at the plate. 237 on the young season. 8-game hitting streak for him. 237 average. 1 for 4 game yesterday with a single. Runner goes, a little hit and run, and Simmons bouncing foul as Cron will head back to first. Might as well try to get something going.
Yep. Especially for a guy that makes consistent contact in Simmons. Has rolled into 5 double plays so far this year, so it's a good idea for Mike Scioscia to have some movement.
Quick throw to first, Cron back.
Some of those ground balls, when you have movement like that, it creates a hole because there's got to be somebody covering the base. It's a good decision by Scioscia. And you got one of those counts right now. It's perfect for a hit and run. More than likely, get a fastball. Guy that handles the bat well. A lot of room on that right side of the infield. And he's hit a lot of ground balls that way. It looks like Dozier's going to be covering, so that's going to open up that complete side of that right side of the infield.
Two balls and a strike. Minnesota scoring twice at the bottom of the first. Ground ball to the right side. Dozier's not going to get there. Base hit for Simmons. Cron will stop at second. Back-to-back hits for the Angels here with 1 out.
Giovanni Soto, who's coming to the plate. Take a look back at what he did in that Oakland series. It's worthy of a Carl's Kim replay against Sean Doolittle, the closer for Oakland. Soto smashes the ball out to left center field, his first home run as an Angel. Big home run, giving the Angels the lead and eventually win that game, part of a sweep up in Oakland.
Giovanni getting to start behind the plate in this one. Carlos Perez was there last night. Carlos with a multi-hit game. Giovanni 3 for 10 to start the year with that home run we just saw. A couple of runs batted in. He's got Cron at second, Simmons at first. The wind is picked up here. The Twins wanted that one to be called a strike. Instead, it's ball 1. That is a base hit to right field. Going the opposite way. Cron is going to be stopped there with Ceno's terrific throwing arm. Gets it back in. So make that 3 consecutive hits. Loads them up against Nelasco and Cliff Pennington coming up.
And 3 really good swings in a row. Soto did a nice job of going down and getting this pitch outer half of the plate. Then try to pull it. Line drive into the right field for a base hit. Try to pull that. It's a ground ball right to short. Let that ball travel deep on the strike zone and shot it in the right field.
Ceno plays a little shallower right field with his arm, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Here's Pennington. Cliff getting to start today at second. Two for 7. Triple and an RBI. Had one at bat last night and grounded out on a hit and run. Big for the Angels to at least get 1 here this inning. Pennington 1 for 7 in his career against Ricky Nelasco.
5 guys in the lineup today for the Angels are hitting well over 300 in their careers versus Nelasco.
Cron at third, Simmons at second, Soto at first. Breaking pitch, rolled foul.
Outfield arm strength good in left, good in right. You're great back there for a fly ball if you're CJ Cron.
Somewhat shallow outfield right now. All 3 guys, Arcia, Rosario, and Ceno. Got a fastball and fouled it straight back.
And a good fastball to drive in the air. Just missed that one.
Yeah.
Kind of a mistake pitch by Nelasco. His bread and butter a lot of times in these spots is a slider or curveball.
Another 1-2. That is out toward right field. That is going to get down and go toward the corner. Cron will come in to score, being waved around as Simmons. Soto is on his way to third. He'll be stopped there. We're tied at 2. Pennington with a 2 RBI double.
Now we get back to how important it was for Weaver to survive that bottom of the first right away. His offense has come back and tied it up for him with a chance for more. Great swing by Pennington, even though behind in the count initially. 1-2, comes through with a good swing himself. And bread and butter pitch, an all-speed pitch, a hanging breaking ball. Nice job of staying back. It's like we saw Arcia doing against Weaver. Pennington there with an RBI double, driving in 2. First double of the season for Pennington.
Second extra base hit as he had a triple at the Big A opening week. 4 straight hits after Cole Calhoun popped out in foul territory to open up the second. Halos have runners at second and third with 1 out, and Yunel Escobar coming up. Escobar 1 for 1 with a base hit the left center to open up the game. Last night it was the Twins responding every time the Angels scored. Today the Angels respond with 2 so far here in the second. 0-1.
Both teams early on struggling for the most part offensively. Coming into the season, you wouldn't think that would be the case with either team. Now they're starting to find their groove at the plate.
Infield playing back. They'll give up the run for the out. Soto, the base runner at third. Pennington at second with a big lead. 1-1 back up the middle, base hit. Soto will score. Here comes Cliff Pennington. The throw from Rosario is not in time. Going to second is Escobar, and he is thrown out. The Angels lead it 4-2.
Another base hit up the middle. Good swing from Escobar. Just trying to use that middle part of the field to very least get a ground ball to score. The go-ahead run drives in 2 instead. Real good play by Murphy to be able to get that and quickly throw. I thought that was the right move by Escobar trying to advance because of the overthrow in the outfield over the cutoff man. And some high fives in that dugout.
Escobar now with 5 runs batted in on the season. There's Rafael Ortega. Ortega called up today. Daniel Nava being placed on the 15-day disabled list with patella tendinitis. Ortega reached on a fielder's choice in the first. He's 0 for 1. Off the plate. 2-0. That's Ortega signing with the Rockies in 08. Had an injury-plagued season in 2013. Placed on waivers. The Rangers claimed him. He takes a strike. That was in November of 2013. By January, the Rangers placed him on waivers, and the Cardinals put him on the 40-man roster. He spent 2 seasons with the Cardinals in the minor leagues. The Angels signed him this offseason. 2-1 pitch. He's way inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Really nice to see the offense respond right back, not allowing Nelasco to settle in. When he settles in, he's a very good pitcher. You got to force him in a situation where you put pressure on him, and they have done so with some good swings in this inning to score 4.
Trout on deck. 3-1 to Ortega, and that is ball 4 on the first free pass issued by Nelasco. Well, the Twins sent 8 men to the plate in the bottom of the first. Trout will be the 8th man to bat here in the second. 4-2 Angels.
Nelasco's already thrown 24 pitches in this inning. Weaver threw 31 at the bottom of the first.
So you're saying it's perhaps shaping up to be a bullpen game, unless guys settle down real quickly.
Well, the thing about Weaver, you know he can settle down once he starts getting a better feel, especially for his curveball and changeup, and that's usually a process for him as the game progresses.
I know it's a weird question, but does a win like this, I mean, you see the uniform ruffling on the mound there with Nelasco, does it come into mind at all?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt it does. Certain pitches don't work exactly the way you want to when you have a win like this, swirling all around like it is.
Ortega takes off. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Rafael Ortega.
Hard slide in to second base. Hopefully Rafael's okay. He certainly got a big jump. Mike Scioscia's going to go out, and along with Adam Neville, are going to check into him. Again, keeping contact with that base all the way through the slide, but I think he's checking his jaw or face area.
Second career big league stolen base for Ortega. Had one with the Rockies in 2012.
And we saw that speed in effect in spring training. And the quick throw. More, he ran his face, went right into the knee and thigh. Nunez.
Oh, what count on Trout? 0-2. Twins with action in their bullpen. Michael Tonkin, first man up. Oh, 2 to Trout. Breaking ball way outside. Nice block by Murphy.
Murphy came over in a trade with the Yankees. Nice job as far as trying to get his body as quickly as possible on that break ball. Well thrown out of the strike zone. Nice play.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Ortega at second. Kind of leaving up the count.
Hey, when you're on the mound, you're struggling, and you think you make a pretty good pitch on a 1-2, and the hitter tracks it like that, that's not a good feeling. 28 pitches thrown, 17 strikes, 11 out of the zone. If he makes a mistake here, this baseball is going to be hit hard.
Inside. He's really trying to establish the righties that 2-seam fastball. It's from our vantage point, I mean, we're almost directly behind home plate here in the second level, and it's got terrific movement on it. He just can't start it at the right spot.
Now you have to trust with that movement. You got to start kind of the middle end, not off the inside corner to start with. It's never a strike.
Three-2. Trout takes a called strike 3. And Ortega will be stranded at second base. The Halos strike for 4. They lead at 4-2. Market Field. Hey folks, you can host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at Angel Stadium. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Just log on at angel.com/suites for more information. Nine, 1 and 2 for the Twins. Murphy, Nunez, and Dozier. Murphy 1 for 11 to start the year. One a double. Weaver gave up 4 hits, issuing 1 walk in the first inning as this one's fouled back.
Well, I think we were talking with Weaver and finish off without any more damage, like he was able to do so, getting Rosario to fly out to Mike Trout to finish off that inning. There's a guy here today close to a Hall of Famer. I always believe the Hall of Famer. Jack Mars, who does the pregame show and does some games here for the Twins. He was a guy that would give up some runs early in the game. Next thing you know, you look up, he's still in the game.
Breaking ball out to center. One down.
And basically waiting for the offense to turn it on for him and give him some runs, and before long he's going to pick up a W. The good ones figure it out. You have a tough first inning, give up some runs, trust your offense, and then trust the field for your pitching performance as the game progresses.
Eduardo Nunez at the plate. Led off the first with a triple over the head of Cole Calhoun. Come around to score as he pulls this one toward the hole and knocked down by Simmons, and Eduardo Nunez have a start to 2016. Second hit. He's 9 for 11.
Break a ball off the end of the bat, but when you're rolling like he's doing right now, it's going to find a hole. Simmons knocks it down. Even he makes that play from that far into the outfield grass, you're not going to throw out Nunez, who is a stolen base threat here. Weaver with a good pickoff move, though. Weaver has 24 career pickoffs. Pretty high total for a right-handed pitcher.
Good lead for Nunez at first base. Takes off. Dozier shows bunt to throw down to second base. Is not a time. Nunez picks up a stolen base.
Quickly slides in there before the tag was applied by Pennington. Pretty good jump.
Second of the year for Nunez.
Mike Scioscia wanted to see if Dozier did make an attempt with that bunt. It wasn't going to be a bunt attempt. It's more of a distraction for the catcher and Giovanni Soto. He wanted to see if he did indeed keep that bat over the plate.
That's a called strike to even the count. Dozier had an RBI ground out in the first to pick up a second run batted in. Lays off. Two on pitch. Good breaking ball. A lot of movement on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota scoring twice in the first. The Angels answering with 4 in the second. Mauer on deck.
Change up down, and that's a pitch that Weaver gets a better feel as the game progresses.
Just inside. Full count.
I think you notice when the pitcher's trying to throw inside, Giovanni Soto puts that glove behind the back of the hitter, then brings it back to that inside part of the plate. Just a little bit of a distraction. Make him think you're not going to go an inner half of the plate.
Three-two, pulled foul. .44 pitches for Weaver. Inning in a third. Both starters struggling.
It's a pretty good time for a slider from Weaver, though. If you're Cole Calhoun, be ready to get to a fly ball that way.
Breaking pitch, pulled foul. Popped up first base side. Crone racing over near the dugout and doesn't make the catch.
That was that perfect breaking ball down and away, looking for Weave to throw. Crone looking for that railing. What do you want to try to do as a first baseman? Get there first. When you try to track it, looking down, looking up, looking down, very difficult, because that means your eyes are moving, your head's moving. Very difficult to look that into the glove at that point.
And now he hits him. So 2 on with 1 out, and Mauer coming to the plate.
Hit him with a changeup. Underneath that one and hits him in the tricep area. If you're a hitter, if you're going to get hit with a pitch, that's certainly the one you want to be hit by. That's a changeup.
Mauer 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored.
Boy, the one guy, if you're Weaver and the Angels, you dread to have up in this spot, even though Weaver's been pretty good against Mauer. 341 career hitter against the Angels coming into this game with 46 RBI.
Takes a strike. Nunez at second, and now Dozier at first. 1 out. Going upstairs to that fastball. Even to count at 1-1.
Bauer is a guy, though, that will roll into a double play on occasion. We even get him to chase something out of the zone all speed, get him out in front, get a ground ball and an infielder. But that batting average career-wise with 250 or more at bats against the Angels all time as far as batting average at 343 for Mauer. Some pretty good ones behind, including Cookie Rojas.
3 balls and a strike. Weaver upset at himself. Just can't hit his spots. And a struggle for him through the second time through the order. 51 pitches. You've got the powerful Miguel Ceno getting ready. The on deck circle. The 3-1 pitch. Mauer hits one to second. There's 1, 2, a double play to end it. Well, you said he could hit a double play.
Reaction was perfect on that line drive for Mauer to get through the inning with no damage.
On top, Pujols, Calhoun, and Crone. Here's Weaver's reaction on that ball.
That's priceless.
Thank you very much.
Exactly how I drew it. I knew he was going to get a double play. You have to smile at that one. That is classic.
Albert hit a fly ball to right field in the first. Nelasco had his own issues in the second inning, facing 8 batters. Trout was called out to finish off the second on a pitch that appeared to be out of the zone. The only strikeout that Nelasco's picked up.
Great hitters count now for Pujols. Hitting .500 in his career versus Nelasco.
Three balls and no strikes.
Like you mentioned earlier, Victor, still having a tough time commanding that two-seamer when he's trying to run it in.
Albert swinging 3-0, dribbles one over to third. Easy play for Plouffe. Mauer comes off the bag. They say he applied the tag. Albert Pujols says he did not.
Boy, he's just telling him to get off the field.
No, I think he's saying that Albert went out of the baseline, which
well, there's no,
he's
he
avoiding.
Can't help but do that.
Exactly, you're avoiding the first baseman. That's Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief. Albert's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's going to stay there. He's waving him back to the dugout. See if he indeed applied the tag.
Can't tell there. I don't know how you can tell from that angle anyways if you're an umpire.
And they're going to check it.
Yeah, they are. Impossible for an umpire in that angle to see a tag applied to a base runner.
Yeah, you're just anticipating it. This angle might be a little bit better. It's tough to tell on the other angles. Well, it doesn't look like a whole lot of contact. Maybe just barely with the jersey. But Albert right away said there was no tag applied, but he might not be able to feel it if he just touches the jersey there either for Albert. But he wasn't moving off that first base no matter what.
Yeah, and I said Mauer. It's Park getting a start today at first base. Mauer's DHing. But the way Kellogg was telling Pujols to go, I think he was telling him that you were out of the baseline, but you have the right as a base runner to avoid the tag.
I mean, either that or you want him to run him over at that point. See again right here if there's any. Boy, real tough to see today on these angles. There's definitely no contact made with the body. That one doesn't look like any jersey moved at all.
Albert helping out Nelasco, by the way, on that 3-0 pitch, something away and trying to pull it.
It's one of those products when you have good numbers, you know that you see the ball well.
And he's out at first. That's one of those that the call will stand type deal. Oh, they're confirming the call. One out. There's Cole Calhoun. 0 for 1. He popped out in foul territory his first time up. Cole pops this one up to shallow center. Nunez is there. 2 down. Base is clear for Crone. Crone 1 for 1 with a base hit. Off speed pitch, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, it's still pulled off in that off speed pitch. And when he's swinging well, he's going to drive that slider to right center field.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. He drives this one out toward right center field. Ceno is drifting back on it. And he'll put it away as the Angels go down in order. It's the first time that has happened today. Into the bottom of the third, 4-2 Angels.
brought to you by Ram Trucks. Sometimes one of those tools could be, sometimes you're better lucky than good. Line drive, double play. As Weaver's reaction, priceless. Exactly how he drew it up for a line drive double play.
It's the bottom of the third inning. Ceno, Plouffe, and Arcia coming up to face Jared Weaver. 4-2 Angels. 5 hits allowed, no strikeouts, 1 walk. Arcia with a fly ball to center field in the first inning. Pardon me, Ceno. Fly ball to center. The breaking ball for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Saw that third of the Rookie of the Year last year. That was just in 80 games. 18 home runs, 52 runs batted in. He rolls this one foul. He did it with a heavy heart. He and his wife had their first child in November of 2014. And a week later, his baby, Angelica, passed away with a heart failure. Going to the minor leagues and having to deal with that stuff. Nobody on the team even knew it. Still came to the big leagues, 80 games, put up terrific numbers.
So difficult to deal with that. When you think about it.
Goes down swinging here. First strikeout for Weaver, and the first out here in the third.
It's a 1,500th career strikeout for Weaver. Special moment for him. 1,500 punch-outs in Weaver's career. Fastball with some movement on it. Yeah, I would think you're going to save that one. I'll run down there and get it for him. That's a pretty special moment.
Oh, 1 count. Plouffe punched a single to right. And he's hammered this one out to left field. The Twins get one of the runs back. It's 4-3 as Plouffe hits his second of the season.
Plouffe went down and got that slider. It backed up on Weaver. See where they backed up. Soto wanted this one down and away, inner half of the plate. And a line drive home run for Plouffe. It's the 4th hit of the series for Plouffe against the Angels.
Arcia picked up his first hit of the season, an RBI single in the first inning. Pops this one up behind the plate. Soto will make the catch, 2 down.
Soto made a nice play and under control right away. Tracked it, easily makes the play.
Two outs and nobody on. Young Ho Park steps in and looks at a strike. Park drew a walk in the first, the only free pass at Weaver is allowed. That changeup. It's a good one.
It's very comfortable throwing at the right-handed batters.
Jammed and pulled over to third. Down on his hands. That's the third out. Trevor Plouffe gets one of the runs back. We've played 3 here in Minneapolis. 4-3 Angels. Target field. Hey folks, every fan matters when the Angels take on the Mariners. Friday at 7:05, fans in attendance will receive a double logo baseball cap courtesy of AAA while supplies last. Visit angels.com to get your tickets.
Looking forward to that one. Quite a few Angel fans here today. Perfect day for baseball here in Minnesota.
Simmons, Soto, and Pennington to face Ricky Nelasco. Coming off a 1-2-3 third. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 6 hits allowed for Nelasco. Simmons a base hit to right and a run scored in the second.
That's a real good breaking ball from Nelasco, one of his best ones so far in the game. You don't want to see him settle down after a 1-2-3 top of the third.
Check swing, went around, 1 away. So that's 5 in a row retired by Nelasco since walking Ortega in the second inning.
See if he indeed crossed the plate. Yep. It's not an easy thing to do to get Simmons a swing and miss. One of the toughest guys to strike out. Certainly did cross the plate on that swing.
Just the second strikeout for Simmons this year. Pattern developing with Nelasco. He really hasn't been able to throw anything for strike on the inside part of the plate. He's stayed middle away for the most part. Breaking ball, and that's towards short. Nunez has it. 2 down.
He's settled in between his curveball and slider now. And like you said, Victor, he's staying away.
And helped out by the strikeout call on Trout in the second. Otherwise, it changes the complexity. They already had somebody up warming up at the bullpen.
And that pitch was about half a baseball off the corner.
Would have been first and second with 2 outs, and Pujols at the plate. There's Pennington. Pulled a double into the right field corner in his first at bat. Brought in 2 runs. He scored himself.
Down, he got a curveball inner half and hooked that down the right field line for a double.
One ball, 1 strike. fastball, and this one's over to first. Park has got it. Flips it to Nelasco, and the Angels are down in order for the second consecutive inning. 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Love's Promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new signature avocado tostadas today.
It's the bottom of the fourth at Target Field in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota on a beautiful day. Windy, but great temperatures. The sun has been peeking its head out around the clouds on occasion. The sun is out now in full force as the Twins set up 8-9-1 here in the fourth. Rosario, Murphy, and Nunez. Center fielder takes a little bit high. 0 for 1 as he had a fly ball to Trout to end the first inning. Pulls this one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Weaver, although it wasn't a 1-2-3 inning, coming off a quick third inning. Picked up his first strikeout, gave up the home run to Plouffe, and that got Archer to pop out and then park the ground out. Turned 67 pitches so far. Good off speed.
That was a real good one from Weaver.
Foul at the plate.
Starting to mix in a few more sliders. So some curveballs, changeups.
Haven't seen that two-seamer to a lefty yet, the inside part of the plate.
It's one of those pitches for Weaver. It's got to be in that comfort zone for him. So he's going to go back with a curveball here.
Popped up left side. Simmons dealing with the wind and the sun. 1 down.
Let's take a look at Weaver's delivery, how deceptive it is as a hitter. He has that balance, and then he goes through it. It's that 3/4 delivery he's created right now. Very difficult for hitters to recognize out of his hand, and you're going to see a lot of pop-ups throughout a game when Weaver's going well in the infield on his curveball, his changeup, even his fastball when he jams you.
Murphy looks at a strike. The catcher hit a fly ball to Mike Trout at his second inning at bat.
Well, right there at that angle, you can see where Weaver lands as compared to where Nelasco lands. It's completely different. Weaver throwing across his body. It's up on the third base side of the pitching mound.
1-1 popped up. Escobar Simmons, Escobar makes the catch. With Simmons right next to him. 2 down.
Said, I got that one. I got it. Don't worry. He was there just to help, just in case. Pop up way up there. Again, like we said, when Weaver's on his game, he's making pitches. You're going to get a lot of pop-ups in the infield. That swirling wind. Simmons, make sure he's there. I got that fly ball, he's saying.
2 outs, and here's Eduardo Nunez.
Again, that's where Soto, look at him, he puts that glove behind the batter and then brings it back in for an inside fastball. He's done that a couple of times today, and that's the time, because Weaver's had troubles with his fastball command, he's been able to hit his spot with that one. See right here, he's putting that glove, he puts it behind him, and then the target's set in the inside corner. He's been consistent hitting that.
2 balls and a strike. Nunez 2 for 2 with a triple with a single. He's also scored a run.
A lot of times when a catcher does that, the perception for a hitter is he's setting up way off the inside corner, but then he comes right back and gives a target to catch that inside corner for a strike.
No. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nunez 9 for 11 to start the season.
So you're saying he can make it out now?
Yeah. Well on his way to breaking Ichiro's hit record for a season.
And that same target, glove behind, and then try to bring in the inside corner. But this time Weaver misses off the inside corner.
Think he'd have him set up for a changeup. No, going to go with the breaking ball. 3-2. This one's pulled, and a diving stop by Escobar, robbing Nunez of his 3rd hit of the game. It's the 3rd out of the inning. We will head to the 5th. Angels up 4-3. The order coming up for the Angels: Escobar, Ortega, and Trout. Jared Weaver's worked through 4. He's retired the last 5 in a row. We welcome in Jose Motos down in the camera well on the 3rd base side. Jose, you were talking about Jared Weaver in that last inning. Seems to have settled down. Both starters seem to have settled down over the last couple of innings.
Yeah, they have. I saw a Weaver that perhaps found a better arm slot. As you know, that's been an issue as Mark has been addressing so often, and hopefully this will extend him for a couple more innings.
Hey, Jose, when you talk about that arm angle on the way into deception, Weaver has I mean, when you think about the way he throws across his body and the way he drives towards the plate, velocity really, in your opinion, is really not that big of an issue for him.
Well, we're going to get into that a little bit more, Mark, but you know, this vantage point here gives me a great idea on what perceived velocity might be for a hitter that sees an 82, 83, where, you know, in reality, it might be 87, 88 for a guy that's 10'6", 162. We were 6'7", so it's different in velocity. So we'll get into that. Just want to watch the Angels approach here against Nelasco, and a guy that, you know, when they put together those consecutive at-bats and the base hits, line drives, scoring the baseball, they allowed him to get in the zone. In other words, as simple as swing at strikes, let balls be balls.
1-2 count on Nelasco, and he bounces this one up the middle, and that is going to sneak through for a base hit. Escobar with a 3-hit game.
Hey, Jose, by the way,
this guy can hit, man.
Yeah, we were joking about that during batting practice. We both went up to Yanel and said, is every at bat a line drive? And he just started laughing. And Jose, it's been that case since he put on that Angel uniform.
When you think about squaring the baseball and finding so much, just the 5-6 inches in that barrel since spring training, he's been doing it consistently. He doesn't change his swing or approach, really. No strikes or 2 strikes, and he's just a confident hitter. I mean, last year, one of the top hitters in the National League. You can see why, because of that good year, he thinks he can do even better this season for the Angels.
That's his 5th multi-hit game. He's on board with Ortega at the plate. Ortega fielder's choice and a walk.
Victor, and going back to Escobar, on the downside, I must say, he must do a better job getting out of the box. It's been like 3 or 4 plays already where he could have been safe somewhere, and it comes a bang bang because he doesn't get out of the box very quickly.
Ortega showing bunt and takes outside. We were talking about, you mentioned the 4 straight hits, 5 straight hits that Nelasco gave up to the Angels in the second. Especially to right-handed batters, hasn't been able to establish the inside part of the play. So he's lived away, and the Angels hitters, unlike the early part of the game against Tommy Malone last night, Angel hitters were just taking what was given to them. It's away. They just punched it out to right field.
Nice job by Dave Hansen reminding these guys, you know, that a guy is going to continue to pound whatever area he's working on, even if the scouting report says something else. Don't get so caught up in the scouting and all the graphics and analytics until you get between the batter's box and find out what the guy is doing and what's working for him.
And Jose, as a hitter, how difficult is that to, when you have a pitcher can't throw the ball inside against you, when you look away, is it difficult to do that, especially when you know at some point he's going to try to throw a fastball in, and sometimes you get locked up looking away?
It is difficult. You know, as a pitcher, Mark, it is difficult because then at some point you go, well, but he doesn't live there.
Hit and run is on, and Escobar's easily going to be thrown out. That pitch was nowhere near the strike zone. Nothing Ortega can do. 1 down. John Ryan Murphy with a good throwing arm.
Almost seemed to me like Ortega perhaps with a late swing, and obviously that's way out, was trying to make sure there was a hit and run. I don't think he actually had an idea about it for sure coming up with his first day with the signs until he saw Escobar take off.
1-1 pitch. That's out toward left. Garcia is there. 2 down.
Oh God, this AB right here for Mike Trout, it's going to be one where we're just talking, Mark and Victor, about the pattern set by certain pitchers and Nelasco himself and Malone last night, but I hadn't seen Mike Trout pull out in consecutive at-bats with his bottom side as much as I've seen here a couple of times against Nelasco, all because of that reputation.
0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a strikeout, looking a questionable strikeout in the second.
See, right now, as a hitter, Jose, can you sit off speed right now?
You can. Absolutely, you can.
Because I got to believe this is going to be an off-speed pitch rate. You would think after a fastball misses the corner.
The best way to put it is your former teammate George Brett told me one time, if you sit off speed, if it's a fastball, it has to be middle out for you to even attempt to swing it, because your swing is going to be programmed and mentally going to be ready to be a little bit late. So fastball in, you're going to be done. See ya.
But he's shown he can't do that. Even that pitch right there, he has a backup breaking ball. So again, in a fastball count, Nelasco hasn't looked like he's felt comfortable throwing a fastball. So as a hitter, I would think, Jose, you're going to be looking something outer half and all speed.
I'm sitting fastball right here.
2-1 pitch. And that is hammered out to straightaway center field. Rosario's not going to get there, and that is off the top of the fence. Trout missed first. Had to have missed first, because he slammed on the brakes and went back to the bag. That's a single off the wall.
For Trout, that's almost impossible. That ball was scalded, that's for sure. And he was sitting fastball, and he got a fastball. I'm real surprised that he would throw that. This fastball runs right down the heart of the plate with that short, compact swing. It was down, too. And Trout crushed it right at that 4-11 sign. See if he missed the base, and he missed it. And he had to go back.
Smart move right there, by the way. That was the best thing he can do.
That ball had some sound. Here's Albert. Albert, a fly ball to right, and then grounded out on that 3-0 pitch in the third.
Also, Trouty answered the bell. Kept his bottom side in there and drove that ball right through the box on a line to the 4-11. Laser shot.
Cue shot on the first base side. Nelasco will take it himself. Hitting over. Jose, appreciate it as always, buddy. Way to the bottom of the fifth inning. 4-3 Angels. By authority of the Los Angeles Angels, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Dozier, Mauer, and Ceno, 2, 3, and 4 for the Twins here in the fifth. Dozier takes down low. Jose Mota still down in the camera well there in the third base side, with Weaver on the mound. Mentioned he's retired the last 5 in a row since giving up the home run to Plouffe in the third. That is hammered to left, a base hit. The pitch is up a little bit. First hit of the game for Dozier, leadoff man on for Mauer.
Take a look at Weaver's mechanics here. We talked about that different arm angle where he's throwing. This is where he's landing as compared. This is where Nelasco. But also look at that arm angle he has created. That's that 3/4 arm angle to allow Weaver to get back to where he was a number of seasons ago, where he felt comfortable challenged with a fastball. And Jose, it is a work in progress as far as getting the velo back in that fastball, but it's the comfort of that arm slot makes him so effective.
And he'll tell you it's been a struggle coming out of the bullpen sometimes. Last year, his high ERA around 5 in the first inning, highest on base percentage against him, Victor, came in the first inning, all because of trying to find that comfort zone early in the game.
And today it was more of the command was the issue. I mean, the velocity is what it is. I think everyone's getting a little too geeked up about the velocity or drop of velocity. It's been a couple of years now, so it's nothing new. But if the command is there for him, as it was with the Rangers game, and hitting all 4 quadrants, he could be very effective as Mauer pushes a bunt foul up the third base line.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's been some outs today where you see Giovanni Soto pull his glove when he wants to alert the third baseman Escobar that he's going to be calling a fastball in on a righty, and Soto will put that hand, as you guys can see it very clearly, behind the hitter, just alerting Escobar, hey, fastball in, be aware. And you can see Weaver missing a couple spots. I mean, overall victory, you're right. Overall, we know velocity is not going to be there, but he has enough to pitch with when he spots well as he did against the Rangers.
Mauer's 1 for 2 with a single, and he lined into a double play that ended the second. One ball, 2 strikes.
But Jose, from that angle where you're at, where Weaver lands, we just showed that on the telestrator, where he lands as compared to Nelasco, or most right-handed pitchers where they land straight forward. As that view you're at right now, how difficult do you think would it be for a hitter to be able to even see the baseball out of his hand, especially when he drives towards the plate?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, he's cutting the distance down and then coming from the third baseline pretty much, and I can see it very clearly here. But anything closer to your eyes is Victor, you know very well, is Gooby, you know very well. So anything close to your eyes is going to be easier to hit and to handle no matter where you're throwing it from. I mean, you talk about Gary Richardson when he's gotten hit, where those locations are, those fastballs at 95, 98. The same thing for Weaver. He needs pinpoint, and that margin of error, I think we all know by now, it's quite small.
Dozier takes off. The pitch is inside to throw to second, not in time.
Dozier picks the right pitch to go on a slider. It was down, and Soto tried to do the best he could, but no chance of that jump and the pitch. And you know that Jose is a base stealer. You're always thinking in terms of what is the best pitch to go on, especially with certain counts where you're going to have a better chance of being successful.
And days like today, when a guy is struggling with command, you know one thing he does not want to be doing? Watching base runners. He wants to take care of the guy at home plate. He wants to survive a couple more innings.
Breaking pitch rolled foul. Angels have action at the bullpen. Corey Rasmus, first man up today. Weaver now at 86 pitches.
A lot of optimism here in Minnesota because of Joe Mauer off to a good start and now using once again strongly that left side of the field.
Bouncer foul.
It almost looks like he's trying to make sure he hits something on the right side of the field now to advance the runner. That kind of goes away from his swing, like you mentioned, Jose. He's always really good going the other way.
So I'm going to throw it back to you. As a pitcher, what's the right thing here?
I'm throwing away. I'm throwing away, and I want him to hit the ball to that left side of the infield. Because anything in, especially something slow, a curveball or changeup in, he'll get the job done and hit a ground ball to that right side of the infield. So I'm pitching away.
Keep trying to come inside. But the thing to that point, Gooby, is the fact that Simmons is playing up the middle. So you've got one guy essentially on the left side. And even though that is the way he likes to hit the ball, you're kind of pitching against the way the defense is set up.
It's surprising that the defense would be set up that way.
And right now with 2 strikes, it's just protect mode. He's got to just hit the ball somewhere. See a difference there because of things we talked about, that perceived velocity with Weaver's 6'7" frame and landing that pitch right there. It's almost like Joe Mauer just did not get a good look at it, but you saw the location just around the knees.
Yeah, more difficult to make good contact if it's a fastball way down as compared to fastball up.
3-2 pitch, and he shoots this one out to left. Moving back on it is Ortega. The ball is carrying toward the wall, and Rafael will make the catch. Dozier will tag and head over to third.
It's good base running by Dozier there to run back and tag. He realized if he doesn't make the play, Ortega out left, he's going to be able to score anyhow. And again, that pitch was upstairs, and he's able to go that way and hit it pretty hard. High changeup. Went with the pitch. Take a nice play at the wall, but you can see that strong throwing arm he has. Slides in, gets in there easily to third base.
It's a nice read on both. The base runner starts thinking halfway or scoring, then retrieving and going back and tagging. And also Ortega. You know, we talk a lot about the infielders, Victor, reading pitches on location or miss or foul balls, but Ortega does a good job following the pattern and the path of that baseball to anticipate a barrel getting underneath it and getting to the wall and playing it back in.
So now at the plate, the infield is in. Just off the plate.
Which I'm sure as an infielder, Jose, you got to really feel comfortable being in with Ceno at the plate.
No.
Heads up to you, too, just in case he pulls a changeup.
I think I better be careful here, too, my man.
Yep.
Now, guys, watch Miguel Ceno talking to Tony Oliva today, who's been around here for a long time, and he's a legend with the Twins. He goes, hey, we're trying to get him to sometimes stride earlier. Stride earlier. He goes, you're going to see so many breaking balls, there's no need for you to be caught in between. Stride early. You can see it right there.
3 balls and no strikes. It's the first 3-ball count for Weaver. 3-0 count, I should say. And there's a walk. Second free pass issued by Jared. And you got Trevor Plouffe coming up. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. Rasmus ready to go in the bullpen.
There is a premium right here put on location or where you're going to miss if you miss. And as a hitter, you're keying in on one thing. You are looking for that mistake and are not going to be surprised if he tries to get you to chase something where you got to be quite disciplined.
No balls and a strike. Plouffe with the single in the first and the home run in the 3rd inning.
Last season, Plouffe rolled into 28 double plays, which is tops in the American League. We would like to get that one more ground ball at an infielder to survive this 5th inning.
And that is out to left field. Ortega moving back, curls around, not going to get there. Dozier will come in to score. Sano's on his way to 3rd. And it's a double for Trevor Plouffe, a 3-hit game. And we are tied up at 4. That's going to be Jared Weaver's last batter.
Fastball in the inner half, and Plouffe did a nice job of bringing his hands inside to be able to drive that baseball off the barrel of the bat.
Tough afternoon for Jared Weaver after such a good start to the 2016 season. He departs with a couple of men on and a brand new game. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. And by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. Brand new game, tied at 4. We're in the 5th inning with 1 out. Twins with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Jared Weaver's afternoon comes to an end after 4 to 3rd. Responsible for the 2 guys on base as Corey Rasmus takes over on the mound. Try in and out, who's in, who's out. Rasmus last pitched on the 8th. That was against the Texas Rangers. That's when he went 2 2/3 innings. Threw a lot of pitches in that one. And he's going to face Osvaldo Arcia. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Infield is back. Ceno, the base runner at 3rd. Plouffe at 2nd. A little surprised?
Especially since we saw the infield in with Ceno early. But I think Mike Scioscia is trying to prevent a big inning because trust in the offense. If an out is made and a run scored, you're still going to be able to score a run or 2 as the game progresses.
First pitch from Rasmus upstairs. Arcia 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first. First hit, first RBI of the season. He popped out in foul territory in the 3rd. Jose, certainly a much different look for hitters after Weaver to have Rasmus come into the ball game.
Yes.
Good fastball.
Good fastball and also a great separation between his curveball and his outstanding changeup. And of course, a more direct line towards the hitter now.
3rd appearance of the season for Rasmus. That's in the dirt.
Yeah, from that angle you could see, Jose, he's really a drop and drive type pitcher where he utilizes that back leg and drives towards the plate.
Yes, he is. He is full effort, max effort, and he can really get behind the baseball and does a good job consistently with the velocity, incorporating the off speed, and missing down. Mike Scioscia loves the ability Rasmus has of giving him, 35, 40 pitches if needed.
He's in effect the long guy out of the pen. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Anytime you see a guy that's a drop and drive here, even though he's not that big in stature, anticipate the fastball having some life as it approaches home plate. All because of that extra drive going forward.
Yeah, you can see right there how much he drives off that back leg.
Breaking ball, got him. I thought it was a 2-2 count. I was excited for the second out.
I feel you, man. I like it.
It's a good call, Vic.
I rung him up.
Hey, you got it for strike 2, man.
I did a Tom Hallion up here and everything. A leg kick.
You had the naked gun working up here, didn't you?
Full count.
Anything low, I'll say he's going to get him.
Pretty good pitch, though, to lock him up.
I got it.
Up. Lay out for it, Jose.
Jose is a hitter. You're facing a guy that started the game in Weaver. A lot of off speed, fastball, not overpowering. Then all of a sudden you face a guy with a good fastball. How difficult of an adjustment is that for a hitter right away to be able to do so?
It could be difficult, but remember, you got so much information now. The guys coming out of the bullpen where you're going to go, okay, if this guy comes in, a little more velocity, you got to shorten up. You got to go out there and just find the baseball a little quickly. You're not thinking so much about stay back, make sure he's right over the plate. Here, you become a little more defensive and think about shortening up your swing, even your stride. But a guy like this comes in, spots that fastball in on you, you could be in trouble.
Payoff again. A bouncer foul.
You can see right there, Victor. That's called a cheating swing for a reason. He's saying, hey, that ball's getting on me a little bit too quickly. Even the slider he threw around the hands was on him real quickly. Let me start cheating a little bit. So you got him on something outside.
You think right now you go up the ladder with a fastball?
I still say fastball's the pitch is going to get him out.
I agree. Because he's staying back enough on off speed. He seems to be still in that mode of looking off speed.
And he drops his hands. Watch his approach. He drops his hands.
Like we said, slider, and you were this a little bit early, Victor, but you're right on On to.
I don't know why Corey wasted all these pitches. I had him rung up 3 pitches ago. 2 outs.
Vic was right the whole way.
That's that hard slider down and in. Pulled off that baseball. You see the head flying and front shoulder flying open.
Cheating for that fastball. 2 outs. Runners still at second and third. Here's Park. A walk and a ground out.
He's a little late.
You think? I was just going to say slightly tardy.
Late again. I think a lot of times for Mike Scioscia, most managers try to set this up where they have a starter who throws one way to have, just in case things doesn't go perfectly for the starter, you have a guy coming out of the bullpen. It's going to give you a different look with more stuff on the fastball, especially to follow Weaver up.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Almost goes back, Mark and Victor, to when certain managers don't like to have consecutive lefties or very similar looking righties in a rotation for that reason too. Does it work all the time? Nope. It's not a perfect science. And there's times where you can throw them out there in advertisement, guys still cannot get to them.
This one off the end of the bat to left. Ortega is there. Twins will tie it up and nothing more. Jose, we appreciate it as always, buddy. We head to the 6th inning. It is a 4-4 game.
Kia. Cole Calhoun has been in the driver's seat as far as driving the baseball so far this season. .389 batting average this year so far. On record for the month of April, .449 by Rod Carew, Hall of Famer, and Darren Erstad. Back in 2000, Ersty crushed the baseball hard all the time.
Calhoun, Cronin, Simmons here in the 6th inning. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 8 hits allowed by Nelasco.
Real nice job by Rasmus to get through with no more damage.
Two balls and no strikes. Cole has popped out twice, once the third, once the short. One down. Every fan matters, and the Angels take on the Royals Tuesday, April 26th at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a tote bag courtesy of MLB Network. While supplies last. Visit Angels.com to purchase your tickets today. 1 out, nobody on for C.J. Cron. Cron looks at a strike. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the second.
Nelasco got away with that one. That was a changeup on the inside part of the plate.
Two down. Two outs, nobody on for Simmons. 1 for 2 game with a single and a strikeout. Chopper over to third. Plouffe has it. Halos go quietly here in the 6th. 4-4 game.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money, log on to MercuryInsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Tied at 4, bottom of the 6th inning. Rasmus came in with 1 out of the 5th, got the last 2 outs. He remains in the game. Twins setting up Rosario, Murphy, and Nunez. Center fielder's 0 for 2. He had a fly ball to Trout back in the 1st inning. Popped out to Simmons leading off the 4th. Final line on Weaver: 4 1/3, 8 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 1 hit batter, 4 runs, and all 4 earned. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, the odd thing about that for Weave today, faced 23 batters, 17 times he threw first pitch strikes. So again, we talked about it the other day. Very good first game, but it's still a work in progress. You have not seen the finished product from Weaver as he's going back to that arm slot where he's comfortable and healthy in.
Popped up. Simmons. Looks like it's an easier play for him. He'll call off Escobar. 1 down.
Weave told me about a week or 2 ago that it's still, talk about 3, 4, maybe 5 starts in which he's built that arm strength up along with his program lifting in between starts to get back to being completely healthy, more comfortable in that old arm slot, that 3/4 that he's had before in the past.
Popped up. Giovanni Soto fires the mask. He may have hit the home plate umpire, John Tumpane, in the shin guard.
You could have had a sandwich and a drink to wait for that baseball to come down.
Yeah.
It was hit up high.
Snap came off on the mask, so he'll need a new one.
Just pop up straight up, trying to get that mask off, and throws it away. Works his way back, and then catches it. That snap coming off the mask. Home plate umpire able to avoid it though.
Yep. 2 quick outs for Rasmus. Here's the leadoff man, Eduardo Nunez. 2 for 3, triple, single, and a ground out. The ground out was the terrific play by Escobar, diving to his right. You're the backup that day.
Yeah,
you're the equipment guy.
Yes, you could do it all.
Good breaking ball, evens the count at 1-1. Cued foul, 1-2.
Remember, there's always one guy on the team that was really good as far as, besides the equipment manager, that always can fix gloves. The strings come out of your glove, and that's your game, but you want to use that. And same thing with a mask too. We just have the time and the skills to be able to do it because you've done that throughout your career in the minor leagues. He's working it hard there, trying to make sure gets it right. A job well done. Talk about his ability behind the plate. Well, also with the hands.
1-2 to Nunez outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dozier's on deck. The Angels in the 7th have 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Soto, Pennington, and Escobar. Down goes Nunez. A 1-2-3 inning for Rasmus. 6 complete. We're tied at 4. Watch the games on TV. You can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the Angels game wherever you go. Top of the 7th inning, 4-4 here at Target Field. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Ricky Nelasco's back out of the bump. He's worked 6 innings, struck out 2, walked 1. As he faces Giovanni Soto, who's 1 for 2, a single, with a run scored and a ground out. You know, there's outings where you feel like a pitcher's just dominated hitters, gone through the lineup rather easily, made adjustments. Today's game feels as if the Angels have kind of given away some at bats against Nelasco, especially from the 3rd inning on.
Especially how well they swung the bat in that 2nd inning.
Yeah.
Used the whole field. None of them almost seemed to be back to looking to pull the baseball. That's a fastball right on the outside corner.
Again, everything's been away to right-handed batters. Here's Pennington. 2 RBI double in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th. Into the seats quickly. 0-1.
We got to credit Nelasco though for being in this position now. Back in the 2nd inning. If that's not a call 3rd strike against Mike Trout, and that was a little bit off the outside corner, he might have been out of the game. Now you look up, he's in the game in the 7th inning.
84 pitches. One ball, one strike. Pulls that breaking ball over to Dozier. 2 down. Wrap up this 3-game set tomorrow afternoon here at Target Field. Also a 1:10 start locally, 11:10 back home. Nick Tropiano against Kyle Gibson.
Tropiano coming off a very solid start up in Oakland. Kyle Gibson, the #1 starter. The Minnesota Twins, although the Angels have had good success against him. He's 0-2 with an ERA over 7 in his career versus the Angels. Good sinker. There's a lot of strikes, keeps the ball down.
Now Escobar 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
It's very similar to the pitch he got a base hit last at bat. On a high breaker ball, adjusted well and hit that ground ball right back up the middle. 14 for 34 in his career. It's Ricky Nelasco for Yunel Escobar.
Two balls, one strike. No action in either bullpen right now. Rasmus will come back out for the bottom of the 7th for the Angels. Going off the body. 2-2. 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 left on for Minnesota. Twins getting 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. The Angels getting all 4 of theirs in the 2nd. Full count.
For being as aggressive as Escobar is, very quick on that first pitch. Works a lot of full counts.
Payoff on the way now. And there's a walk.
That's a great at bat. He mentioned he will be aggressive on first pitch. But he also is a guy that fights off some tough pitcher's pitches to get one he can drive. And that at bat, though, just work the count, work the walk.
So Ortega will bat now. with 2 outs and a man on. 0 for 2. His Angels debut. Called up before the game. Daniel Nava was placed on a 15-day disabled list. Now we start to see some action in the Twins pen. Guys just playing catch. On the outside corner.
Especially for the Twins, looking at who's on deck for the Angels, especially that last swing he had. It's Nelasco to rocket off the 4-11 sign in center field.
Backed it up with an off-speed pitch. 0-2. Ortega, just 24 years of age. Native of Venezuela.
John Ryan Murphy was setting up inside. I think that was just by design on that pickoff. And I would imagine him going back away. And he is setting up away.
Breaking pitch, foul back.
A lot of times the catcher will do that just in case you look back thinking, oh, he was going to throw that pitch inside so I could look inside. That was by design, and it went back away. Ortega did a nice job of just fighting that one off, well off the outside corner.
This is hit up the middle, and it's a base hit. Escobar is going to stay at second. And the throw goes back to the bag, and Escobar almost caught sleeping. No sense of messing around. You have Trout coming to the plate.
Now you want to give him every opportunity, just like we thought. With Trout coming up, Paul Molitor looks like he's ready to go to the bullpen. A swing like Trout had last at bat against Nelasco will make you feel that way as a manager. Maybe you're better off with a different look.
He's going to milk the 30-second clock. And he's going to leave him in there.
Wow.
Go get him. Nelasco had 96 pitches. Trout 1 for 3. It was a single, a laser beam off the center field fence, but as he rounded first, he missed the bag, so he was only able to get just a single out of it.
3 for 9 in his career versus Nelasco.
I believe it was 113 miles an hour off the bat, too.
Beat up that wall, I know that.
Yep. 4-4 game here in the 7th with 2 outs. Escobar at second. Ortega, good speed over at first.
So far in the sequence, slider. Struck him out on a fastball back in the 2nd inning off the outside corner. Everything looks like it's going to be away, whether it's a fastball or slider.
Trout asking for time, backs out.
Although we've seen clubs, a lot of clubs try fastballs in against Trout.
One pitch. Another breaking ball. Another strike, 1-2.
Pretty good breaking ball right here. in that outside corner.
Pujols on deck. 1-2.
How he blocked that, I have no idea. I don't think John Ryan Murphy has any idea how he blocked that one either.
Rick and Nelasco not fully committed to that pitch.
No. That was about 4 feet in front of the plate. That was just about a little bit outside. Listen, that was a split finger fastball. 100 pitches, 30 of them back in the second inning, 20 so far in this inning. He's trying to fight his way through this one.
Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Trout reaching for this one, bounces it to Plouffe. He'll take the easy way. And a force out. The Halos leave a man in scoring position. Well, stretch time here in Minneapolis, still tied at 4. Getting Mike Trout to hit into a fielder's choice to finish off the 7th inning. Paul Molitor keeping him in the ballgame to face Trout. It worked out. Trout now 0 for 10 with men in scoring position to start the season. As Rasmus is back out on the mound at the bottom of the 7th. Dozier, Mauer, and Ceno. Dozier checked his swing. Yes, he did, says Jeff Kellogg. 1-0.
That's not an easy thing to do as a manager, and Paul Molitor, obviously, if it didn't work out, it was going to be second guess why he left him in there. So he went out there with a conviction to see if Ricky and Nelasco can get through the inning. He must have said the right thing, and he got through it.
Dozier with an RBI ground down, hit by a pitch, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Twin second baseman. Good off speed pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he hit the exact target that Soto set. Dozier didn't go after that one, though. Just above the strike zone at 91.
Shallow right field. Pennington is there. 1 down. Hey, follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
And more?
Much, much more. Joe Mauer. Mauer 1 for 3. Takes a strike. There's a lot of pop-ups in the infield, haven't there?
A ton. Soto's caught a couple of them himself behind home plate.
Got 7 total in this game by an infielder. 6 by the Twins. Two balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Halos in the 8th have Pujols, Calhoun, and Crone coming up. Nelasco appears to be done after 7. Ryan Presley getting ready. He pitched last night. 1 scoreless inning for him.
Stake pitch, he fouled that one straight back. Middle of the plate, up. Mauer ready on that one.
Two again, and Mauer gets jammed. Lofts one out the left center. Ortega, with the sunshine, makes a catch. 2 down.
Not the normal routine catch what we've seen from Ortega not only in spring training but today. Just trying to track that with the end and cover his eyes with the glove. No problem. Got it easily.
Had it all the way.
Yep.
2 outs, nobody on, and Miguel Ceno at the plate. Ceno 0 for 2. Drew a walk in the 5th. One and 1. Four tie here in the 7th. 2 outs.
See that life on that fastball. 92 the pitch before. Curveball. 4 pitches for Rasmus.
That was some life there.
Good slider. He's used all 4 pitches so far in his relief stint, coming into a real good job picking up Weaver. The guy's in scoring position. No damage done that inning.
2-2 now. And got him. A 1-2-3 inning for Rasmus. He's retired 8 straight. 7 in the books. We are tied at 4.
It in a 4-4 tie as we head to the top of the 8th. As we look ahead to your SoCal Mazda dealers post-game show, yes, we are going to talk about Jared Weaver, his quest to win number 2, what went wrong and what went right. The bullpen, of course, called into service. 4 relievers couldn't hold down a 2-run lead last night. Will they get a little redemption today? Victor Gubiai asked Socha pregame, so is anybody off limits because of last night? He said no. I said Fernando Salas, 31 pitches. He said everyone's available until we can give them rest.
That's one thing you'll learn from Mike Socha.
Yes.
He'll never give you any information.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. Is he available? Yeah.
But his arm's
But
hanging
probably
off
not.
his body.
Yes.
He's good to go.
It's like that upper body injury in hockey, especially playoff time.
He's decapitated.
Yes.
That's just an upper body
Just
injury.
an upper body. He'll be fine.
Ryan Presley takes over on the mound to face Albert Pujols, Cole Calhoun, and C.J. Cron. 7th game for Presley already. First one's up and in.
In my Hyundai key for this game, Albert Pujols held to the king, just looking for him to drive a baseball right now. Big home run last night the other way, looking for their leader to put him ahead here with 1 swing.
Albert 0 for 3 against Nelasco. Little bouncer foul. Nelasco 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 runs, all earned. Presley's yet to allow a run this year. 7 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Presley came in relief of Tommy Malone yesterday after Calhoun hit the 2-run home run to make it 4-2. He faced the bottom 3rd of the order. Two balls, 2 strikes. He's got a live fastball and he likes it.
He's going upstairs with a fastball. He's thrown 3 of them upstairs in this at bat against Albert Pujols. The danger of one of those pitches, if you bring it down just about an inch or 2, then it becomes extremely hittable, even at 94, 95.
Albert drives one out toward left center field. Rosario giving chase. Still going onto the warning track, and he will make the catch. Did he hang on to it? He did. He just avoided Arcia at the last second and went into a slide, and that is out number 1.
Baseball kept drifting and drifting towards the end of the bat. Rosario just as he makes contact. Arcia on that one. Center fielder's baseball, calls it at the end. Is he able to control it as he falls to the ground on the warning track? Albert almost got it out of there.
I see Rosario calling it the whole way.
I don't think you want to run into either corner outfielders here if you're a center fielder or an infielder.
Cole hitless today. 0 for 3. A couple of pop-ups and a ground out. Ground ball left side. That's Trevor Plouffe. 2 down. So bases clear with 2 down. Here's Cron. It's at a 1 for 3 game.
See if CJ will be aggressive here. See if he can get a first pitch fastball to do some damage.
It's a breaking ball instead. And it's no balls and a strike. CJ now 4 for 35 to start the year. Jumped on that first pitch fastball from Nelasco in the second. He started the rally for the Angels. It led to 5 consecutive hits and 4 runs. And he drives one out the left center field. Towering shot. Rosario Arcia giving chase. Rosario at the wall will make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Presley. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied at 4. Cup racing heads to Bristol starting at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Bottom of the 8th inning. Boy, Rasmus Dunn, after 2 2/3 innings of solid baseball, did not allow a base runner. 3 strikeouts in relief of Jared Weaver. Now Joe Smith takes over on the mound. The Twins have Plouffe, Arcia, and Park due up here in the 8th, a 4-4 game. 6th game for Joe Smith. No record, a 2.25 ERA, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit batter. No other changes for the Angels. A couple of near misses off the bat of Pujols and Cron, both towering shots that appeared to have the wind affect them and keep them in the ballpark. It's up to Joe to keep this a 4-4 tie. Take it to the 9th. Trevor Plouffe has had a big game, 3 hits. A triple shy of the cycle, a single in the first, a home run in the 3rd, and a double in the 5th inning. He's also picked up 2 runs batted in.
That's twin to hit for the cycle. Michael Cadyer, recently retired Michael Cadyer. He was thinking about bunting for a triple there, I think.
Why not? 1 ball, 1 strike. Plouffe 1 for 9 in his career against Joe Smith. Dozier with a couple of hits in his career. Bauer with 3 against Joe. 1-2.
Great location right there. Fastball right on the outside corner at the knees. It's an unhittable spot. Perfect location. Good frame job by Soto.
2-2. Plouffe already with a nice series. Got a total of 5 hits coming into the series. 5 hits on the season coming into the series. Got 2 yesterday, 3 today. Full count. Ground ball to the right side. Cron's got it to the backhand. Taking himself one away.
Finally able to get out. Plouffe. High school teammate of Mike Scioscia's son, Matt.
And a perfect example of what Plouffe was able to do last year. Mentioned yesterday the numbers that he had. 315 average with men in scoring position. Tends to shorten up, and with 2 strikes, that's what he did in the first inning with his base hit to right. Just punched it out to right field.
And that was hit pretty well. This is a nice play by Cron off the base there to be able to field that ground ball.
It's Waldo Arcia coming up now. Soto checks in on Smith. Nice crowd this afternoon here in Minneapolis, 27,000 plus. Really gorgeous facility.
It really is. It's fantastic, this stadium.
Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, got quite a bit of the strike zone.
2 balls and no strikes. Escobar off the line at third, about even with the bag. That's driven out to left center field. Trout is going to watch this one go into the bullpen. And the Twins here in the 8th inning have taken a 5-4 lead.
That's pretty good power going the other way. Got a fastball that was down. Generally a pretty good location, but that's this great power. Into the bullpen, almost made it to the back bullpen. Say a nice swing on that one. Excited about what he did and accomplished there, especially on a pretty good pitcher's pitch.
Arcia's first of the season as Park fouls the first pitch. The Angels will play from behind. We head to the 9th. Evan Jefferson getting ready. Jefferson closed it out for the Twins last night. One ball, 2 strikes. Park, a walk, a ground down, a fly ball to left. Breaking pitch, and that's hit to straightaway center field. Towering shot. Back-to-back home runs. Oh, wow. 6-4, Minnesota.
That is a long, long, long way.
That landed above the batter's eye.
And Section 8 is put in here to target field. Hanging slider. Fan with the baseball.
Wow. They're stunned here. I mean, they're on their feet. That's Park's second home run. Rosario for 3. He hits one out to right field, chasing Cole back, and he'll make the basket catch for out number 2.
Yeah, And when Joe is right and doing well, he's getting a lot of ground balls, fly balls, or definitely the thing that Joe Smith tries to avoid. I mean, it's going to be a little bit up in the strike zone, although the one that Arcia hit was a pretty decent pitch down and away. Didn't get the call, the 1-0 pitch. Came with a fastball. Arcia looking for fastball and hits it out to left center field. And then Park to dead center field.
They're estimating Park's home run to be 462 feet. Dribbler toward third. Escobar barehands it. And the inning is over, but back-to-back home runs by Arcia and Park gives the Twins the lead of 6-4 as we head to the ninth. Crone, Simmons, Soto, Pennington with hits as well, but the Angels trail this one 6-4 as we begin the ninth inning. Kevin Jefferson takes over on the mound, looking to make it 2 consecutive saves after ending the series with just 3 appearances and no saves. The Angels have Simmons, Soto, and Pennington due up here to face the former Angel.
Jefferson fastball in 93-97. Curveball, changeup.
Couple of changes defensively for Minnesota. Buxton's out at center field. Takes over for Rosario, who moves over to left. So Arcia is out of the game. And then Max Kepler is the new right fielder. So both Arcia and Ceno are no longer in the ball game here for Minnesota. Presley, who went 1 inning, retired the sign in order in the 8th inning as the pitcher of record, even though he gave up 2 long fly ball outs, but they both stayed in the yard. That kept it a tie game going to the bottom of the 8th. Andrelton Simmons 1 for 3. Singled and scored back in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th, grounded out in the 6th. Drops a bunt on the third base side. Plouffe will barehanded. And off balance throw gets him. 1 away.
Lewis had a nice game with the glove and the bat today, coming in on that bunt. Simmons tries to get on base to bring that tying run to the plate. A good barehand play by Plouffe prevents that.
Giovanni Soto 1 for 3 game. No balls, 2 strikes. Making it a little bit more challenging now. The shadows have come out over the home plate area. One and two.
Trying to get a base runner. Pennington, of course, definitely for the way Escobar has swung the bat this season. You want to give him an opportunity to be able to swing, hopefully with a couple guys on base. Cliff Pennington with a big 2-run RBI double back in the second.
1-2 pitch. Soto just got a piece of it, keeps his at bat alive. Another 1-2. Lays off. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Angels against Jefferson last night got the tying run to third base. Eventually stranded him there. Two now from Jefferson. That's ball 3.
A little bit off the outside corner.
Pennington. Then Escobar if we get that far. Payoff pitch. And there's a walk. So it'll bring up the tying run in Cliff Pennington.
So all you're looking for is some base runners to bring that tying run to the plate. Put pressure on Jefferson. Solid at bat by Soto.
Pennington a 1-for-3 game. 2 RBI double back in the second. First double of the year. Now with 3 runs batted in. 1-0. Jefferson last night living upstairs in the upper reaches of that strike zone with the fastball. Had issues with the breaking ball as far as commanding it. But he relied on that fastball and that last batter, Daniel Nava, last night. Coming right after him and picking up the strikeout. 6-4 Twins in the 9th. Man on, 1 out. Good rip at that one. 1-1.
Had to throw a strike there for Jefferson. Got quite a bit of the plate and a good swing from Pennington.
Short lead for Soto at first. 1-2.
Now your approach changes. You were thinking extra base hit the first couple of swings. Now you're protect mode, just trying to look for a little flare in the left field as Jefferson staying away with his fastball.
Two down. So the Angels down to the last out here in the 9th inning.
Went fastball again, this time off the outside part of the plate at 96.
After winning the first 3 to start the road trip, in jeopardy of dropping the next 2. Losing last night 5-4. Trailing here 6-4. Nelasco 3 for 3. He's been on board all 4 times. The last time up was a walk. That was against Ricky Nelasco, starter who went 7 innings. It's Ryan Presley who pitched the 8th. The pitcher of record for Minnesota. Soto takes off. Escobar bounces this one to short. Nunez has it. And the Angels drop game 2 by the final of 6-4.
Well, hard-fought game all the way through, but then in that 8th inning, some power swings. Arcia and then Park going a long way to give Minnesota back-to-back wins. After starting the season 0-9, Trevor Plouffe with the big game himself with the power swings. 3 home runs for the Minnesota Twins today.
6-4 the final. Presley picks up the win in relief. Joe Smith suffers a loss, and Kevin Jefferson notches his 2nd consecutive save as the Twins take game 2 by the final of 6-4. Stick around, and Jimmy Nelasco and Jose Mota will break this down for you with Angels Live post game, which is coming up next.